All right, welcome to Fitchella 2023. My name is Jason Viking Friedman. I'm going to be taking you through the weekend, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have a whole bunch of celebrities come join me up here in the media booth. As you can see, it is an absolutely beautiful day here in Cape Town, and we're super excited. It is Motley Crue's first big event here, and we're at Camps Bay. What a beautiful scene here at Fitchella. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, make sure that you hit the bell notifications so you know exactly when we go live here throughout the weekend of Fitchella 2023. In lane 1, we have Thrusty 3. In lane 2, Florida Man. In lane number 3, we have Young Dumb. Lane 4, Ed and Eddie. Lane 5, Buck Fuppers. Lane 6, Fricky Ford and NN. Lane 7, Time to Commit. Lane number 8, Team on the Move. Tiger Fit in lane 9 and Mino Disrespect in lane 10. So if you are new to Fitchella, you don't know what's been going on, you haven't checked out their Instagram, these athletes are allowed to choose a scaled version or an RX version. They are not going to be moving heats around, so it's basically going to be the same heat throughout the weekend. And if you choose the scaled version, you obviously get a certain amount of points. You will finish below the person that is doing the RX version. This workout here is a 20-minute AMRAP. They are going to be moving the wall ball. It's as many wall balls as they can. If they drop that wall ball, they'll have to go for a run. They've got to keep that wall ball moving at all times. 20 minutes on this workout is going to be absolutely brutal for these athletes. And then, of course, if they drop one of those wall balls, they're going to have to head out on that run. Jump into those comments. Let us know who you're supporting here at Fitchella. And do you have FOMO? We know a lot of the Joburg guys heard about Fitchella quite late, so they weren't able to come through here. But keep us posted. Let us know who you are supporting. We got the Fitchella social media team as well. Make sure that you head on over to Instagram. That is Fitchella. "30 seconds, and then we're going to get our athletes underway here at Fitchella, the very first one. And now, what a beautiful setting. I hope you all got FOMO at home. I know I got FOMO. I actually wanted to train this morning. I woke up a bit late, so it didn't happen. Disappointed in myself. Steve's even giving me the eyeballs here.
Yeah, Jay, very disappointing that you didn't get out there and work out. I must be honest, I was going for a run on the promenade there at Sea Point, staying at the Mojo Market here in Cape Town. But the alarm went off and I rolled over this morning. So, yeah, it was only Kate who got out from the production team, actually did some exercise this morning. But I think we've got a busy day ahead of us. Team's going to be active. We're really excited about bringing this coverage here to you from Fitchella 2023 at Camps Bay High School.
And there you have it. Stevie there doing the exact same thing I did. So disappointing. And off they go. Our athletes are underway here. And like I said, it is 20 minutes of leg-burning hell with these wall balls. And we are going to get a person on the floor. They're going to find out exactly who's in the lead. So we will get that information to you as this workout progresses. And don't forget, make sure that you go check out Reebok. They got those new Nano 3s out. That is Reebok, the official apparel sponsor here at Fitchella. And I must say, we're sitting here in the booth, and I mean, it's only 8 o'clock, and it is really, really hot. So I can only imagine what these athletes are going to feel. Yesterday, we had quite a lot of wind here at Fitchella, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for the rest of the weekend when we looked at the weather app, but we can never trust those weather apps. You can see those athletes swapping in and out there on those wall balls. See a couple of athletes heading out on the run. Make sure you let us know who are you supporting here in the comment section. We obviously want to make sure that those athletes know exactly that you are here watching them and supporting them. And see those beautiful scenes there in the background. What these athletes are looking for is to save those legs. They want to get a nice little recoil out the bottom of the movement. Just bounce their way up, saves a little bit more on those quads, those hamstrings and the glutes. And then of course those shoulders, there's different techniques you can do. There's like a butterfly technique, you can drop your hands down, or you can just keep your hands up. As you can see here on the right hand side of your screen, both those athletes there keeping their hands up. I don't know if for this particular workout, if that's a great idea. You want to get those the blood flowing in those arms. You don't want to have too much blood in those arms, and those shoulders might blow out just a little bit. Remember, this is 20 minutes. You can see there as we jump over to the run there, you can see some of the athletes already shaking out those arms, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want to get too much blood in those arms. It's going to cause a big issue later on. 20 minutes of wall balls and running. It's a tough workout for these athletes. The very first one here at Fitchella, as we jump back into the action with all our athletes on the floor. You can see those wall balls going off. You can see a couple of athletes there, lane number 3 there, they are busy using that butterfly technique as they throw the ball up, butterfly, and then bringing that blood back into the hands. Eight o'clock, nice and early. I see a couple of you online here watching YouTube. This Fitchella, proudly brought to you by ItsHappening.Africa. Make sure that you jump over to our Instagram, hit that follow button. We'd love to get to 700 followers on Instagram, so you can head on over to Instagram. That is ItsHappening.Africa on Instagram. You can see some of our teams there sporting some matching gear. Always love to see that. Great shots here. We're going to have our roaming camera on the floor in a bit. And then we're going to get some nice close-up shots there for you as well. You can see athletes in and out the whole time. And like I said, we are going to get our roaming camera on there. He's going to find out exactly who our leaders are. He's going to go to the judges and find out for us, and then we'll have better information for you. It's one of those workouts where it's a little bit hard to make sure that we know exactly who's in the lead, but you can be sure that these athletes are going to be working extremely hard. You can see a couple of these athletes also using knee sleeves, and if you're new to the sport of CrossFit, it's just to protect the ligaments around the knees a little bit and give you that recoil bounce. It helps a little bit when you get to the bottom of that movement. So when you look at the wall balls there, they are looking to make sure that those hips, the bum passes the knees, breaking the 90. And I can tell you our cameraman is almost there. He's just making his way through the crowd at the moment. And like I said, don't forget, head on over to Reebok. Make sure that you get yourself those new Nanos. And here we are. You can see there, nice close-up shots here. Our men moving on to the run there. You can see one athlete dropping the ball. Remember, if they drop the ball, they got to head out on the run. And as you can see, that spacing is quite far, so you can't actually throw the ball and the other athlete quickly run in to go grab a raw ball. So you are 10 to 1 going to run. There's no doubt about it. Unless you have some Usain Bolt speed to get to the rig in time, there's no ways you'll be able to avoid that run. Clever little mix-up there by Ty here from Motley Crew, our organizer for Fitchella. And it's going to be exciting to see. I had a little chat with him just about Fitchella itself and what is the idea behind the sport, and he basically said he just doesn't want to complicate the workouts too much. He wants to keep it nice and simple. As we mentioned earlier on in the stream, we spoke about you can choose a scaled version or you can choose the RX version. Obviously, if you choose the scaled version, you're always going to fall behind the RX athlete, the athletes who choose the RX. But I can guarantee you now that this heat here, all these athletes are going to do the RX. Not too many hard movements here or weights at all for anyone to move the weights around. As we jump onto one of our Finkel sisters here, she's now done with her wall balls. She's most likely going to head out for the run. And as you can see, it is clear. There's not a cloud in the sky here. Beautiful day in Cape Town. If you've just tuned in, welcome. Make sure that you drop some comments for us here in the YouTube. Let us know who you're supporting. You can see you guys starting to fill in here a little bit. Don't be shy. Drop us a comment. It's nice to chat to the community as well. And let us know, what is your favorite technique on the wall balls? Do you like that butterfly technique? Do you rather keep your hands nice and high? As you can see some of these athletes here. Got the guy in the blue shirt, shorts, every now and then, I think it's every 3, he goes into a butterfly. No, he decided not to do it anymore. I thought I had him in his rhythm there, but I don't. We look at the guy here in the vest as well. He's choosing to do a butterfly every so often. There is a bit of a glare on the screen here, so if I do know you and I don't mention your name, I do apologize because I can't see your faces too clearly. But that will be sorted out once we have the sun out of our faces. At the moment it's directly in our faces, so it's a tough one at the moment for the production team here in the production sector. Gemma, what are you looking for when you are doing wall balls? I was talking about obviously recoiling out the bottom, making sure that you break 90, but how do you as an athlete save yourself energy doing wall balls?
I think the key is when you're doing a lot of reps, the key is to do it nice and slow, so not to go out too fast. So chuck the ball up, have enough time to get down, back up again. So nice slow reps, just continuous moving. If you go out too fast, you're going to burn out and then you're going to do a lot of running. I think wall balls is a hard exercise. You're going to be working either way.
So obviously with this workout, these athletes want to get big chunks. So it's not one of those workouts where you can like do 5 or like 3 or something like that. And this is where Ty was very clever because he made a big spacing. So remember what they said, if that ball comes down, you're going to have to go run, right? So you'll see that the athletes are quite far away from the rig. So it's forcing athletes to go run. So you actually want to hit the big sets if possible and then maybe run out a bit slower. So you recover on the run and then when you come back, you can hit out another big set. Is that something you would look to do as well?
Yeah, definitely use the run as a rest, and so try do a very big set until you're nearly blown and then go out and recover on the run and come back, and then you still got time to recover because there's 3 people in your team, so you can rest up and then go again. So I think the key here is to do as big a sets as possible because you have quite a lot of time to rest.
100%, and funny enough, Ty actually wanted 3 different weights on the wall balls, but Tomo from Rebel said not happening. They don't have that capacity. But yeah, I think it would have been really interesting if there was, say, like a 14 kg ball. Obviously, all the men are used to that 9, and the ladies are used to, I think it's the 7. Am I correct? It's 14. Yeah, so about 6 something kgs. So yeah, it would have been interesting if they had that heavier ball. Do you think that also would have played a massive part if the ladies had to move up to the 20?
Oh, definitely, because a lot of ladies don't practice it and they're not used to the weight. So I think it would have blown them a lot quicker. But I was actually looking forward to the teams doing these unbroken. I was hoping that they could swap out and not have to run. So I was hoping to see them standing next to each other, passing the ball to each other, and just seeing teams going out all unbroken. But I guess Ty had other ideas, and everybody has to run.
Look, I think if it was a shorter workout, but when you got 20 minutes on the board, like for athletes to try to stay there for 20 minutes, I think it would be brutal. Look, it would add an interesting element, but I think he obviously wanted them to run out. Of course, let's mention that as well. I don't know if, I highly doubt these athletes did it, but there was also a 5K this morning that Reebok was hosting. Yeah, would you have liked to have done that 5K, or don't you like running? Because we know we talk about this all the time about CrossFitters doing the run. Obviously, they're running a short one here. It's not too crazy. But this will add up. I mean, over 20 minutes, you're looking at each athlete will probably hit about a K, 2Ks maybe. But in terms of this morning, do you think it would have been cool to see all the athletes do a 5K?
I think it would have been a nice warm-up, nice start to the morning. And if you do a nice slow 5K, it's a good warm-up to start the weekend.
So we talk about a slow 5K. Do you know how competitive CrossFit athletes are? You should know this. There's no slow 5K when it comes to athletes doing a 5K.
Running.
Yeah, they want to get it over and done with as soon as possible. And they're so competitive. Like, even if they're not a good runner, they're going to go hard balls to the walls.
Not all CrossFit athletes are like Jenna.
Jenna, of course. But yeah, so of course these athletes, like I said, they're going to be looking at around about 1 to 2, maybe even 3Ks if they're moving fast on that run. But I'm just looking out here on the field now. You guys can't see that. But that run looks to me that it's probably around about, let's have a look there, it's about 100, 200, 300. So you're looking at about a 500 meter run that these athletes are looking at. Oh, there we go. There we got the shot there for you. You can see them in the back. They are busy running out there. You can see they go through the arch, the first choice arch, and then they make their way around the hay bales. It's about 500 meters if I'm looking at it correctly. So they're going to be probably getting more than that 2K, 3K over the next 20 minutes. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if that run plays a big part in the later workouts today. Because remember, running also takes a lot out of the nervous system, especially when you're doing wall balls with that.
So do you not think that it would be a good idea to walk the run? So you still have 2 athletes on the floor.
So that's a tricky one to play with, especially say now you're a bit too slow and now both athletes have run and now have to go run, right? Now you're behind on reps. So you actually need to pace your run that you get that timing right. Because if you don't get that timing right, you're going to lose out on the reps. So these athletes have to be very careful on how slow they do those runs. You can see a couple of these athletes are really strolling, and I think those are the athletes that are actually going to fall behind. You can already see now when we look at the floor that a lot of the athletes aren't on their rigs at the balls. So that's athletes losing. That team is losing out on reps, and we want those athletes. There should be an athlete all the time at the rig to get those reps up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so very, very interesting. Like I said, I think Ty, I mean, when I looked at this on paper, I was like, okay, it's cool, but when you actually think about it strategically, there's a lot of strategy that goes into this. It's not just okay, this is how we're going to do it, just throw the wall ball and run. You actually have to think about this, because if, like I said, if one of the athletes is taking their time and 2 of the athletes have just dropped the ball, they're going to go out on the run and they're going to start falling behind on those reps. Ideally, you would like 2 athletes on those wall balls to make sure that you're getting those reps. And then don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then of course we hit that bell notification so you know exactly when we go live with the next workouts. Yeah, hopefully we can find out who's in the lead. We'll get back to you shortly. I'm gonna quickly drop a message and then let's see if we can find out who that is. All right, so we're going to get a runner quickly. She's going to go find out exactly what's happening on those score sheets. And then we'll get back to you with who those leaders are. If you've just tuned in, welcome to an It's Happening.Africa production. We are live here at Camps Bay. It is a beautiful morning out. These athletes are doing a 20-minute AMRAP of wall balls and running. If these athletes drop the ball, then they are going to head out on the run. They are not allowed to drop that ball. However, Ty's been very sneaky, and he's made sure that these athletes will drop the ball and that all these athletes are going to run. As you can see, those athletes are all working hard on those wall balls. It is really, really hot here. We are sitting in the production booth. We are at Camps Bay High, and it is hot. I'm burning up here a little bit. One of our teammates is trying to air out his armpits. As you can see there, that's what we were talking about. You see there, the athletes there having to start behind the line there, which is make sure that they are going to drop the ball and they have to go on a run. So the idea here, all right, it looks like lane number 18. They are currently on 470 reps. That is, they are our current leaders. So that's lane 18. They are busy smashing it at the moment. It looks like lane 8. They are very close there as well. So lane 18 and lane 8 are battling it out, and then it looks like lane number 7. They are currently in 3rd place now, battling it out. Remember, it is the amount of reps that they get on these wall balls. So they want an athlete on those wall balls at all times. They don't want all 3 athletes out on the run. So I did make a bit of an error here. They have the ladies and the males all on the same floor. So it's 10 teams for the males and 10 teams for the females. So far at the moment we have our male teams in the lead, and then our lane number 7 is our first female team. And I do think lane number 7 is the Finkles, but unfortunately I just can't see the boards there. You can see there the sun coming off those boards. You can't really see what those numbers are and those teams. 30 seconds remaining for these athletes. You can see now the athletes are starting to pick up the pace. Not too sure what was going on there with the lady in the green pants. She was running right around. And that is time here. You can see the athletes all. So it looks like lane number 7 was our unofficial female leaders, and then it's possibly between lane number 8 and 18 for those males. They were quite neck and neck there. But awesome little workout there for the first one. Don't go anywhere. We got our next heat coming up. Right, we're back here. We got heat number 2 underway. And it looks like we have Dina Swift here in this one. That is... I haven't seen her around in a while, so good to see her back here. In heat 2 here, I'm just going to quickly find out who's in heat 2 for you quickly. Looks like we have lane number 1 is Alpha, lane number 2 Powerpuff Girls, lane 3 Charlie's Angels, lane 4 Good Vibes and Muscle Thighs, lane 5 Thirds Kosher, lane 6 Reverse Oreo, lane 7 CrossFit Tiger Valley, lane 7 Team Represent, lane 8 CrossFit Juggernaut Unstoppable, lane 9 Barbell Besties, lane 10 Three's a Crowd, lane 11 The Bold and the Beautiful, lane 11 Plate Breakers, lane 12 Three Musketeers, lane 13 Iron Maidens, 14 is Wad Woman, 15 is Run DMC, 16 One Straight Gold Tri-Fit Titans, lane 17 Hell's Kitchen, and lane 18 Unboxed ACD. So our men's teams and lady teams are all on the floor. They've made 20 lanes for these teams. And if you've just tuned in, welcome to a ItsHappening.Africa production. My name is Jason Viking Friedman, and I'll be covering Fitchella for you guys. Sorry, we're getting distracted here with all sorts of walkie-talkies going off. And we've got our split screen there. You can see a nice little panning shot as well as our elevated shot on the left-hand side. You can see those boards there. The sun is directly on those boards, so we can't actually see the team names and the lane numbers. So we are going to do our best to try call out those lane numbers as well as the team names. But at the moment, from our team member that's on the floor, it looks like lane number 18, One Straight Gore and Tri-Fit Titans are your current leaders. That is the team with Dina in it. And if you've just tuned in as well, this is a 20-minute AMRAP. These athletes have to get through as many wall balls as they can within those 20 minutes. However, there is a twist. You can see those athletes all heading out on a run. Once that wall ball touches the ground, you have to head out on a 500-meter run. It's about a 500-meter run, estimated 500-meter run. And then you're going to get yourself back into the workout. However, the reps count. So you want to make sure that there's an athlete at the rig at all times, and this is where your pacing on that run is going to become crucial for this workout. If you decide that you start taking it a little bit slower and both your athletes, if you both decide, or two athletes that are off the rig, you start falling behind in those reps. So the idea on this is make sure that you get your timing right on that run and that you get back to the rig on time, making sure that you have one athlete on the rig at all times, because if one athlete falls off, then if one athlete falls off, you start falling behind on those reps. So it looks like we already have some athletes on 143 reps. So it shows you how fast these athletes are moving at the moment with this wall ball. athletes are looking to make sure that they break that 90. You can see some of these athletes struggling to get out the hole. If you're wondering what the hole is, it's the bottom of the squat. And with the wall balls, you actually want to get that recoil out the bottom, so you want to drop nice and hot and then bounce out of the hole. Make sure that you get that ball explosive out of that hole, and then you can get nice clean reps as well as save yourself some energy, almost using that elasticity of the muscles and the tendons. You can see there a great setting there. You can see the sea in the background, and hopefully we get a little bit of a breeze. At the moment there's not much of a breeze, and it's a really, really hot out here, so these athletes are going to feel this one as they are working their way through these wall balls. I didn't get confirmation of the previous heat, but last I heard there was 570 reps that were put up by one of the teams. So we'll see what these athletes can do over the next couple of minutes. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know who you are supporting here at Fitchella. And do you have FOMO if you're out there in Joburg? I know a lot of athletes, you weren't able to make your way to Fitchella. It was very last minute that the Joburg crowd found out about it. So let us know in the comments, who are you supporting? And we'll make sure that we relay that to the athletes. Huge shout out to the Rebel Elite Fitness team, of course, always setting up the rigs, bringing us all the equipment, and then Reebok, the official apparel sponsor here at Fitchella. You can see a lot of these athletes not enjoying that run at the moment. I'm looking out here out of my production booth and just checking some of these athletes as they head out on that run. A lot of them are taking it very, very slow, and like I said earlier on, you don't want to take this run too slowly because you can start costing your team some reps. You need someone at that rig at all times. So that run, even though you are looking to bring the heart rate down just a little bit, and I always talk about zone 2 and making sure that CrossFit athletes are doing zone 2 runs so they can get used to recovering on a run and not look at it as a, oh no, I'm working really hard on this. You should actually do a lot of zone 2 work with those runs just so you can recover for workouts like this. And as you can see over the last couple of seasons, we've seen a lot more running being introduced into the CrossFit scene. So us South Africans as athletes, especially those athletes looking to make the games next year, for the next season, you're going to have to start doing a lot more zone 2 runs. I see way too many zone 2 rows and zone 2 bikes and zone 2 ski ergs and not enough zone 2 running. But we'll see what happens here. Some of these athletes looking really, really comfortable on the run, and it generally is the smaller athletes. As I'm looking out here, I can see a lot of the smaller athletes looking very comfortable actually. Actually running decent pace as well. There's one lady coming in now from, you'll probably see her on the screen in a little bit. There she is, she's flying in there. You can see her coming through the gates there just behind everyone now. She had a really good pace there. She overtook a couple of the guys as well. Remember, we got both teams, we got male and female on those runs. And we'll make sure that we chat to Ty that we can turn those boards around so we can actually see lane numbers, because at this point it's the team names facing us. And those team names, as you can see on the screen there, just at the bottom left, you can't really read that unless you start zooming in. So unfortunately, I'm not too sure of who's in who, which lane and whatnot, because I actually don't know the lanes there as well. But we will make sure that we get that sorted out for you in the next workout. However, please shout out those team names. There we go, Suzanne van Skalkwyk supporting Lions Bay from Port Elizabeth. And if you guys remember, we had Fittest in PE a couple of months ago, and what a community they have out there. And a lot of those athletes are here this weekend, so great to see them out here as well. And a huge shout out to them as well. the Lions Bay crew. They are one of those boxes that supports all the other boxes and all the other events. So it's great to see them here as well. That's Lions Bay. And as I said, there's Paddy in the chat there. Lacquer Lions Bay CrossFit. Also a phenomenal athlete, that always wearing his bed sheets. So great to see him here in the comments. And that's a little private joke there. He had some interesting apparel at the last event we were at. And welcome if you've just tuned in. I'm just going to run through the workout quickly again. It is max reps on those wall balls. However, if that wall ball touches the ground, you are going to head out on a run. And now our organizer, Ty, made sure that you will drop that wall ball. You can see where those boards are on your screen there. On the right hand side, the athletes have to stand behind that line. So for that athlete to sprint through and try to catch that ball is near impossible. So the athletes will be heading out on a run. And this is where you got to play it smart. You got to make sure that you get the timing right of your run, because you need an athlete on that rig at all times to make sure that those reps are just ticking over. And if you don't get that right, you'll see there's a couple of balls there on the ground where there's no athletes, because all three athletes are on the run, and you really don't want that, because you will fall far behind. Our previous teams, I think it was lane number 8, they did exceptionally well. They were getting their timing right on the run and making sure that wall ball was moving at all times. So great stuff there from the teams that was out there in lane number 8. And like I said, we are going to ask Ty to turn those boards around for us so we can actually see the numbers, because at this point we are not too sure who's in what lane. And here we go, all the Lions Bay athletes here in the chat. We got Jessica, she also did exceptionally well at fittest, and then Christy as well. Let's go Lions Bay family, let's go Lions. Come on, let's get some more support here for the other boxes. If you are in the chat there, I'm pretty sure there's more athletes in the chat right now that aren't from Lions Bay. But as I said, great community out there. They are a true family, I must say. And then we took a little trip out there to Motley yesterday, and man, what a vibe that was, going into their box. Great little setup they have there, and got an awesome little coffee place there. They got the physios there. I saw a lot of the athletes as well. They were getting those jet fuel drips, so hopefully that helps them out this weekend. It is exceptionally hot here, so I'm pretty sure we might see a few athletes head back there and get another drip. Any of you guys know if you can actually do 2 drips in over 2 days? I would assume not, but if you do know, let me know in the comment section if you can go for 2 jet fuels within 2 days. Lolita Woodendall, she says, let's go Lions. Looks like Lions is going to dominate the chat here. I feel like they are winning the chat wars. You can see a lot of athletes there. You can see an athlete there in the middle there in the pink. She was hands on her knees, and that's not a good sign. That doesn't bode well for the team. And once again, no one on that wall ball. You want to try to stay on that wall ball. You want to get those reps up. This is a very tough workout. This is one of those ones you just have to grind out and just keep going. Steve and I, yesterday we were talking about having an engine for this type of workout. And if you don't have that engine, if you don't have a good zone 2 base, you are going to struggle on this workout. See, this is the problem with a lot of us CrossFit athletes is we tend to do a lot of high intensity work and not a lot of zone 2. So your body starts becoming accustomed to that. So basically when you even do the smallest of thing, our heart rate starts spiking a lot quicker than it should, because that's what we're accustomed to. Our body's like, okay, we're about to work out now, our heart rate needs to go up. And if you don't have a good zone 2 base behind you, it's actually harder to control those heart rates and also bring that heart rate zone down to zone 2. So this, you should be in zone 3, zone 2 on that run, and then obviously you can spike a little bit as you go onto those wall balls. And we're talking about wall ball techniques as well. where you'll do a butterfly technique on those wall balls, or you can just keep your arms straight up. I personally would do a butterfly technique on this just because the reps are a lot higher. It's not too much about the speed of the wall ball, so I would do a butterfly, and as Gemma said earlier as well, just slow the rep down a little bit, but bounce out the hole. You can see our lady in pink there, she's showing a great example actually of that recoil and bouncing out the hole. She's looking really good and nice and strong on those wall balls. And as I say it, commentator's curse, she had a bit of a stutter there, but she's back into the swing of things. And look how she bounces out the hole, uses the recoil and elasticity of those muscles. And she'll be heading out on her run now, as we see her teammate come in there as well. That little pink dot. Well, there we go. Our producer quickly switched over, and you can see her there as well. You can see Dina there. Looks like she's in the white top. I think that is Dina. Yeah, that is Dina. Remember, she was one of our CrossFit Games athletes a couple of years ago. She's, yeah, I actually haven't really seen much of her. I'm not too sure where she's been. I don't know if you guys know if she's been in any other competitions. Let us know in the comments. But I think this might be one of her first comps that I've seen in a while that she's doing. So great to see her, yeah, back on the competition floor. Deline says, hot chow rocks. See athletes there waiting patiently. The best thing you can do there is just try to stay nice and relaxed. Generally, you're going to be breathing a lot harder. So the one man there on his hands, hands on his knees, you actually don't want to do that. You want to try to just stay upright. If you can even bring your hands above your head just for a little bit, just to open up those lungs to get that oxygen flowing. Takes a nice easy walk into the wall balls, and let's see how he does. Yeah, that's our man there on the bottom right corner in those maroon shorts. You can see he's using a butterfly technique. Very interesting. So he's exploding out of that, keeping his arms nice and straight when he explodes the ball up. And then comes around. You can see some athletes are just passed out on the floor there already. Not too sure what's going on there. I think he's just dead. Yeah, I think it might be a judge, yeah. So just off your screens, we got someone lying on the floor there. We're not 100% sure who that is. There he is there. Yeah, I think he's okay. I mean, there's a lot of people around him, so hopefully he's okay. And someone's noticed, but I'm sure he is fine. I don't see so many people not noticing a man lying on the floor there, so very interesting. But yeah, as we get back to the action, time should be running out here shortly. You can see a lot of the athletes all flying in here. The runs, I must say, have been picking up with those top teams at the moment. Those top teams are starting to send it here on the run and picking it up here as this workout is almost about to wrap up. You can see Dina there on your screen. She's there on the right hand side in the white and grey. Former CrossFit Games athlete. And all these athletes picking up the tempo here with just a couple of seconds left. And that's a wrap. Don't go anywhere. We got our next heat coming up. 585 is the reps to beat so far. 585. All right, we'll be back with you shortly.
Know what it costs.
All right, we're back here for heat number 3, and in lane 1 we got CrossFit Musty Rise, lane 2 the Benchwarmers, lane 3 the Buccaneers, lane 4 Spice Girls, lane 5 Dumbbells and Donuts, lane number 6 Love Triangle, lane number 7 Epic Dads, lane number 8 we got Waldo Sandwich, we got lane number 9 I can't actually read that because there's something on the thing there. It looks like something Angels. So lane 10 we got Mark the Jaw Fall, lane 11 M&M's, lane 12 the Unboxed Midgets, lane number 13 Barbies, lane 14 Lost in the Woods, lane 15 Triple Threat Triad, lane 16 Out of Our Way, lane 17 Brozillas, lane 18 Here for the Jaw, lane 19 Two and a Half Men, and lane number 20 Diamond Dogs. And if you've just tuned in, we have our male teams and our lady teams competing. Afrat Angels, that's what it was. Apologies there, one of the graphics here has like a black dot on it, so I actually couldn't read the first name. 20 minutes of wall balls. It sounds absolutely brutal, and it is definitely brutal. So what is happening here is that one athlete will be on the wall balls, two athletes will be behind the line. You can see all those athletes watching their fellow athletes compete here. Once that ball comes down, that athlete will go for a run. That run is about 500 meters. Then the next athlete will come in and they will do their wall balls. The idea here is to get as many reps as you can in your specific set. So you want to try to get some nice big sets, and you cannot stop. So obviously, if you get into the bottom of the hole and you take your time at the bottom of the hole, like the lady there on your screen, that is actually a run now. You're not allowed holding that. You have to keep moving. You can see some of these athletes trying to take chances with these judges, but they get called out on it. So you have to keep that wall ball moving. You cannot stop with the wall ball. And if the wall ball touches the ground, you'll then head out for a 500-meter run. And as we saw there, that was just a prime example. As I was talking about it, someone was actually doing it. So that was awesome. So you cannot hold that in a squat and think that you're going to get away with that. That wall ball has to continue moving. But if you don't get the timing right on that run, it's going to cause major issues for these athletes, because they want to keep those reps turning over as many times as they can, just to make sure that they can become the leaders in this workout. At the moment, I think it was 585, if I remember correctly. That was our leading number for the wall balls. Right, so about a 500-meter run that they're going to have to do, and then they're going to make their way back into the arena and then carry on for 20 minutes. However, we've seen in the previous heats, a couple of these athletes, all three of the athletes will be out on the run, and now those are the teams that fall behind drastically. We've seen literally about 100 rep difference for those athletes that fall behind. On those wall balls. See some of these athletes, if you're new to CrossFit, they have those knee sleeves. Those knee sleeves help those knees just a little bit, protect the knees, as well as help with that recoil out of the bottom of the hole. Helps a lot just to save a little bit of energy in those muscles. They actually did a study on those knee sleeves in terms of does it actually help in terms of that recovery and how much you use those muscles. And because they retain a certain amount of energy in them at the bottom of the movement, and that elasticity, it does actually help. I can't remember the exact percentage of this, so I'm not going to say it, otherwise I'd be lying. But yeah, they do help a small amount in terms of the wall balls. But with a workout like this, I think definitely you want that small little bit, that small advantage. You see that lady there just catching her wall ball. Remember, if she dropped that, she would have had to have gone out on the run. And that's also another thing that plays a part. There's not much of a breeze here. It's really hot, and those wall balls, when you start sweating, they become very, very slippery. I'm sure we all know as CrossFit athletes that those wall balls, when they are slippery, it becomes a big issue in terms of getting that throw right, making sure that you hit your targets. So you want to actually keep that wall ball away from the chest, especially for the guys that are doing this shirtless. You don't want any of that sun cream on there. You don't want any of the sweat on there. You want to keep that ball nice and dry. Otherwise, you're going to find some big issues coming back into this. And if you make a mistake, say you only get 2 reps on that wall ball and you have to hit out on the run, you're putting a lot of pressure on the teammate that needs to come back from the run. Remember, there are 3 in a team. And we got Chris Walton in the chat. He says, the event looking great, guys. Well done to all involved. And then we got Sarah Price Lewis. She says, go Lions. And then Kirsty there says, go 20 Diamond Dogs. There was a familiar face there on the screen. That is Samantha Ducker. She's out there from Lions Bay. Good to see her. And then next to her there, I'm trying to see if I can know who that is. Can't see with the glasses, but I'm sure I do know that person. But we got the Lions Bay teams here, males and females. So great effort from the Lions Bay. Does anyone in the comments know how many teams you guys actually have here? Let us know. How many Lions Bay teams are here at Fitchella? Right, and the run's been quite an interesting one, yeah. We saw in the previous heat that those teams were just picking the pace up every round. So this, just looking at the pace here, they are, I would say they're probably just slightly off the pace at the moment if I were to look at all these athletes at the moment. And but it'll be interesting to see as we get closer to the end of this workout if they're going to pick that pace up. Got our producer here choking on something. So it's a bit chaotic here in the production booth. We have all the judges walking past, we have producers choking on things and cameramen falling over things. So every now and then I get a bit distracted. I'm very noise orientated, so I get distracted. So if you hear me stuttering, umming and ahhing, I'm sorry. Someone's distracting me. Jessica says there are 3 Lions Bay teams here from Lions Bay. Thanks, Jess, appreciate that. Why aren't you guys here? Let us know. Why are you guys not here? And why don't we have the creators of Lions Bay here, Edouan and Alzan here? I think they actually would have had a really good team. Do we know if Drickus is here? Is Drickus Snyman here? And still waiting from the other CrossFit boxes. Again, it looks like this is just a Lions Bay family chat at the moment. We haven't got anyone else. I'm waiting for the other boxes to let us know who's in the house here. I think there's only one JHB team. Yeah, I know we got a Durban team. Yeah, as we can see, our athlete's heading out on the run there. She looks very, very happy to go run. She's just got back from a run. That's why she's happy. But as she got back, look at that. So she didn't even get time to recover. She literally got back into the arena, and now she's going straight to the wall ball. And now this is going to be a big ask for her. Let's see what she's got in those legs and those arms. Will she be able to hang on to that and make sure that she gets a big set? So the keys to success in this workout, you definitely want to look for a big set. Give your team enough time to get back from the run. So you want to slow down those wall balls, make sure that you are bouncing out the hole, using the elasticity of those muscles to almost recover just a little bit. It might only be like 2-3%, but that 2-3% goes a long way in these workouts. See a couple of athletes there on the right hand side. They're already back from their run, and that's what you want. You want to get back from the run, make sure that there's someone waiting at all times before you head out. You don't want to fail on those wall balls. And that's Samantha Ducker there on your screen. She's heading out for her run now. And I do know that she's also been doing a lot of runs, seen a lot of 5Ks lately. So she'll have a bit of a gas tank on her as well. Belinda Mini says, go Lions Bay, all the best, Sammy. I would assume that's Sam that we just saw on your screen as well. Alright, so we're going to get nice close-up action in just a little bit. So we've sorted out our roaming camera. Had a couple of technical issues there, but we sorted out. can see some of these athletes just are walking back, really starting to get fatigued. Really tough workout. I actually feel sorry for these teams that are coming in a little bit later, because as we sit here, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter. So we've still got another 2 heats after this heat. And right at the beginning, I mentioned that we're going to get a couple of celebrities in a little bit later. Some surprise celebrities come chat. Not too sure how much they know about CrossFit, but it'd be interesting to have them in here just to hear their thoughts on the crazy sport that we all love and hate so much. So stick around for that. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. We got Jess here again. She says, go use those famous quaddies. Susan says, go Sam and Nadia from Lions Bay, watching you from Janssenville. Alright, we are currently with our roaming camera. Obviously, a little bit of technical issues there, but look at those great shots there that we had there. You can see it is a beautiful day here at Camps Bay. We're at Fitchella, the first of many, we hope. And so far, very, very successful here at Camps Bay. And I'm sure a lot of athletes are at home right now with some major FOMO. You can see a lot of the athletes here. Now it's starting to kick in here a little bit where the strain is starting to show on these athletes. That run starts catching up. Most of these athletes will be hitting about 2 to 3 Ks of running, and then on top of that you got to keep moving that wall ball. I think it was 585. I could be wrong on that. That's unofficial. That's the score to beat at the moment. Amount of reps that these athletes have achieved. Bjorn from Scott Lake says, can't wait to see bananas in pajamas. Bananas in pajamas for the win. And our lady teams as well as our men teams are all on the floor. There's 20 lanes out there. All these athletes are giving us their all here. And we are going to get these boards turned around so we know exactly what numbers, what lanes they're in. So we get some nice close-up shots here of these athletes with those wall balls. And you can see there, these athletes constantly readjusting their feet. It's a little tell sign that they're starting to get fatigued. You see as they throw the ball, they do this little step. That's usually just showing some uncomfort in the legs. And off he goes, our man there on the right hand side, heading out to the run. Here he comes now. You can see there, it is baking. The man is dripping in sweat. All these athletes running past, feeling the heat right now. Hopefully all these athletes know that they need to make sure that they head out to get that rehydration as soon as they're done with this workout. The amount of electrolytes you lose there on the run and this type of workout, you don't want to have that cause issues for you later on in the day when we have the rest of the workouts. Of course, there's a bit of a swim workout later on today as well, so that's going to be nice and inviting. I feel like they should have maybe done that first up. It would have been a great little swim. And we can see our spectators here, some photographers. And then back to the action, of course. And you're going to start seeing, as I look out here, you guys won't be able to see it, but I'm looking out here, I can see a lot of your athletes picking up the pace now on the run. And commentator's curse once again. As I say that, I see a lady there start walking. So yeah, just behind, you can see where they're heading out there on the left-hand side. They'll turn to the left, they'll go through an arch, and then at the back here, we got some hay bales set up, and they are heading out around these hay bales. It's about 500 meter, estimated 500 meter run. And your timing on this has to be really, really good. So the pace of your run, you got to make sure that you keep a similar time and gradually increase that pace as athletes start getting a bit more fatigue. So remember, you're going to start doing smaller sets as this workout goes on. So as you get fatigued, you obviously don't have the same glycogen storage that you had as when you started this workout. And you got to learn how to control your heart rate, especially on that run. I see a lot of the athletes, as I mentioned earlier on, a lot of these athletes haven't been doing a lot of zone 2 workouts, so they struggle with the run. And they come into the wall balls probably sitting at zone 4 or 5, and that's definitely not what you want. You're going to be red zoning. And in a workout like this, you want to just stay in that zone 2, zone 3. It's one of those workouts where you should rather feel muscle fatigue rather than breathing really hard and a high heart rate. So you can see one of our smaller ladies here. I think that is a team there, I'm not too sure. You can see her there struggling a little bit with the height. Some great shots here again. See all those athletes coming in. You can see those hay bales there just at the back through the arch. And you can see some ladies struggling a little bit with the run. And see, a lot of the athletes, they actually have they've got the pacing right on this, where they always have someone on the rig. As I mentioned earlier on, you want to make sure that you keep an athlete on the rig at all times so that you can just keep those reps ticking over. As soon as you have all 3 athletes on the run, you're going to put yourself far behind. We've literally seen 100 rep difference between athletes who haven't been able to keep the ball moving. So good to see these athletes in this heat are definitely have learned from the previous heats. Remember, we still have 2 more heats after this, and then later on we got our celebrities coming in to have a little chat with myself here in the production booth. And I must say, this is the first time, we always talk about a production booth, this is the first time I can actually call it a production booth, because we are literally sitting nice and high. I get to see the whole entire field. I'm in shade. I feel like every time we do this, we are out in the sun or out in the rain, and just getting absolutely destroyed by Mother Nature. So this is a good one. You see our athletes here, Lions Bay on the floor there. And that is time here. Heat number 3, John and Justin, don't go anywhere. We'll be catching up with you guys in just a little bit.
Ambition is movement. Your best is found beyond the limits you set for yourself.
One more.
Boundaries are nothing when you unleash on the world what you see in yourself.
Know what it costs.
All right, heat number 4. Our second last heat of workout 1. We'll be kicking off in exactly 3 minutes.
And we're back here for the next heat. A little bit of a change in our equipment. There we got some of the names. Our cameraman making sure that he gets those names for us. Fit Life legends there. As you can see, you got to get quite close to see those names, and I'm sitting in a production booth quite far up, so to try to read those names is very difficult. Our MC there, I can hear him struggling with some of these names. I know, I feel your pain right now. Feel your pain. Some interesting names as always here at CrossFit events. And I'm notorious for butchering names. Call me the name butcher. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, and of course the bell notification so you know exactly when we go live for the next workout. We're here with event number 1, Balls of Fire, and I must say this name suits this workout. Keys to success here, you're obviously going to be looking for a very well-timed run. You got a 20-minute AMRAP. You're going to be doing your wall balls. However, if you drop a wall ball, you are going to head out on that run. The run is about a 500-meter run, and the idea of this is you want an athlete on that rig at all times. As soon as you have one athlete come off, the other athlete goes in on the wall balls. However, if all 3 of you have dropped a wall ball, if you've made an error with the wall ball, you're going to head out on that run and you're going to fall behind drastically on those reps. You want an athlete at that rig at all times, and those are the keys to success with this workout. You just want someone at that rig at all times, making sure that you're ticking over those reps. So far, it looks like that 585 unofficially is still the number to beat, and that was in heat number 2. You can see some of the athletes all walking in here now. Some are smiling, some are very nervous. I'd love to mess around with these athletes. And here we have, where is Waldo? Wally, I mean. As I was saying, there's many distractions here in the production booth.
after this heat, let's unplug it.
All right. And off we go. Our athletes jumping into this workout. It's going to be an exciting one here as well. As mentioned, unofficially 585. That is the rep leaders at the moment. That goes for males and females. I think for the females it was actually 572 for the females, and the males was 585. So not too far off actually. Our ladies doing really, really well. But it's been a brutal one here early at Fitchella, our first workout. Max wall balls, and then every time that ball comes down or you stop with that wall ball, you go out for a run, and you got to try to keep that pace at all times on the run, otherwise you're going to fall behind on the reps. And we have Jess, once again she says kill it out there, Charles. They got 3 teams here. That's our Lions Bay family out there in PE. Give a shout out to your favorite team here. We know the Lions Bay are in the house today. They are absolutely dominating our comments at the moment. However, no other CrossFit boxes has come out to play in the comment section just yet. Let's see where you guys are at. Come on. Let us know where you're from. Where are you watching from? Do we have any international viewers?
2 minutes in, and we're seeing a couple of changes from the wall balls as we come to their second and third partners. A couple of different strategies coming in here. Some teams opting for one huge set to start off. Some teams opting for smaller, more consistent sets with more running. Completely up to your team's strengths and weaknesses.
Right, we're back here, and it looks like lane number 9, they are your current leaders here. They have 70 reps. Lane number 7 on 100, that is Fit Life Legends. In lane number 9, we've got Squat Girl Summer. So Fit Life Legends in lane number 7 are your current leaders. And then in lane number 9 is second. They are Squat Girl Summers. They are unaffiliated. And then we have lane 6 in third. They are now currently on 80. So currently our leaders, lane 7, that is Fit Life Legends. In second place we have lane 9, Squat Girl Summer. And then in lane number 6, All Panic No Disco, Fit Life Wellington, they are in third. And then the Chalking Dead,
They are in 4th place at the moment. That's lane number 3. So it looks like these teams are flying right now. Most of the teams are already in the 100, but we've seen this trend before already. So remember, all 3 athletes are there already in the arena. You'll see those reps start slowing down because now you're going to have athletes out on the run, and that is actually going to bring that rep count down substantially. So at the moment, a lot of the athletes jump to 100 like really, really quickly, but after that first 100, when the athletes are all out on the run, you'll see those numbers come down quite substantially, as our leaders have only had 585. I say only, but I mean 585 reps in your very first workout is quite a lot of reps to deal with. Let us know in the comments, who are you supporting? Supporting Hot Chow from Glen Kern. Lolita says, let's go Chelsea. Sonia says, go Anya and Fit Life Legends Wellington. Vian says, what are the reps for banana and pajamas? I'll find out for you now, Vian. And banana and pajamas, they are on 139 reps. That is lane number 18. Mitchell says Hot Chow. And I'd love to see some comments coming in here. And it looks like lane number 17 on 180. That is MCC, One and Done. They are from Motley Crue CrossFit Fourways. I think it's our only team from Joburg. That's One and Done. So it looks like a lot of these athletes are sitting on that 180 mark. And our leader is currently at 210. So that's our current reps at the moment. And it looks like our leaders are still out there in lane number 7. It looks like Fit Life Legends. Remember, that is unofficial. We just have someone floating around our judges just to find out those reps. There she is on screen. She's you can see her looking over the shoulder there of the judges with her little walkie. Lane 13, they are on 230 at the moment. That's chalk dirty to me. And we're talking about the what are the keys to success here, and it's definitely coming down to that run. As you can see now, you can see in front of these athletes, there's only a few athletes coming to their boards now as they try to recover from that run. You actually want an athlete there at all times, so you need to actually work on the run. We spoke about maybe trying to recover on the run, but a lot of these athletes, as I mentioned before, don't do a lot of zone 2. So them coming out of this run is actually quite tough on these athletes if they haven't been doing base running, and they might be redlining when they come into those wall balls, and that's causing a lot of these athletes to fall behind that pacing that you want, where you keep someone at the rig at all times and then keep someone at that board waiting and ready. So when you do come off that wall ball, there's an athlete ready on the rig doing wall balls, and that's the pacing that you want. You want one athlete on the run, one athlete at the board, and one athlete at the rig at all times. So that run is becoming a very, very crucial part in this workout, and we saw in heat number 2, they got that timing to perfection. Almost every single team in that heat, they got some seriously big numbers with those wall balls, and only a few of those teams didn't have someone at the rig at a certain point in this workout. We got Steve here. Stevie, what are your thoughts on this workout? I already spoke about, we're talking about the keys to success, right? You always need one person at the board waiting, you need one person on the rig, and you need one person on the run, obviously, to keep those reps moving. If one of those athletes make a mistake on that wall ball, and you have, say, 2 or 3 athletes on the run, you start falling behind on the reps. That's the trend we've seen so far. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's this workout's all about teamwork, managing the time between each movement, making sure you get a little bit of a rest in. So managing your effort, not going out too fast and overdoing it, but making sure you can maintain your effort over the required time, right? So however long it's going to take you to do your 400-meter run out there, we need to try and make sure there's an athlete on the wall ball for that time. And if you can keep cycling like that and just keep steady progress throughout the workout, that's going to help you get through and be competitive at the end there. If we look at a couple of the teams from the last heat, it was lanes 19, 20 and 17. I'm not sure which teams those were in particular, but they had a really nice steady rhythm through it, making sure they always had an athlete doing wall balls and even managing to give some of their athletes a bit of a rest there. So this workout's really all about engine, right? We've talked about it a couple of times in the build-up to this weekend. How good is that engine, and how can you maintain that effort level all the way through?
100%. And the teams you were talking about were Diamond Dogs, 2.5 Men, and Brozillas. They did exceptionally well in that previous workout. And then let's not forget about Heat 2. So Heat 2 are the only guys so far that we've seen where the ladies got 572 and the men got 585. Those are your current unofficial leading numbers for the workouts. But this heat, looking at this heat, these guys have been moving really well. The pacing's been really good on the run as well. And you as a runner, let's talk more about the running. I always talk about zone 2, and I think a lot of the CrossFit athletes, even myself sometimes, I fall short on doing more zone 2 sort of stuff, so that when you go out on the run, you're actually recovering more. Even though you're running at a decent pace, you've taught your body to bring that heart rate down. So when you come to the wall balls, it's actually a lot easier. Explain a little bit more to us as a runner yourself.
Yeah, Chase, so it's a really good question, right? If you can run in zone 2, right, whatever pace that is for you, it just lets the heart recover, get blood back into the muscles, and then actually the run becomes a recovery for you as well, which really sets you up to excel in the wall balls here. So that's all about training, right? If you're not training your run as a recovery, so making sure in your workouts you're doing a big intense set of movements and then getting out on a run straight away and just watching that heart rate, making sure you're staying in that sort of 110 to 123 beats per minute zone, depending on obviously you as an athlete. Teaches your body to recover on that. One of the things I like to do is during my hill sets, I use my downhill as the recovery, get to the bottom at zone 2, make sure I've let the heart rate come right back down, and then get straight onto that next hill repeat. So that helps you just manage that heart rate, and it teaches the body how to recover while still moving. And if you can do that, that's such an advantage in a workout like this.
100%. As Stevie said, now he does those hill repeats. So what we like to do as well, we have our endurance sessions where we'll do a high intensity workout, and then we make sure that when we go out on that run, that everyone knows their zone 2s. As you mentioned, everyone's got a different zone 2. That you bring your heart rate down to zone 2, even if you have to walk for a little bit just to get that heart rate down, and then get into that run at that pace, whatever it may be for that zone 2. And it helps a lot in terms of these workouts where you need that engine.
Yeah, we're talking about it a lot. I don't know if I've ever managed to do it effectively. Get to zone 2, pushing out sort of like a 630k. It just doesn't feel right sometimes.
Yeah.
But after doing it for a while, a couple of months, getting the body used to it, you can get that 630 down to a 530, down to even a 5-minute K in zone 2 if you're really disciplined about committing to that training regime. And this is where it's going to pay off in a big workout where you're pushing it out, pushing the bod out on the wall balls, and then recovering on the run. It just gives you such an advantage there.
100%. And in the comments, we have Ryan van Antwerpen from UK supporting Lions Bay. We got Deline there sending Banana and Pajamas some hot chow love. Claire Constance says, CrossFit hot chow, let's go. And then Tegan Hartley says, go JD.
A lot of support here for CrossFit hot chow. Lovely to see the guys up in the comments. Shout out to you. Love to have you guys here with us, but the love you're giving us on the tubs on the YouTube, it's great to have you here with the broadcast.
As well as Lions Bay. Of course, Lions Bay, always a big family supporting on YouTube, so great to see them here as well.
Yeah, Joe, that fittest in PE comp that we did with Edouan and Smiley out at Lions Bay, it was such a wonderful event. The community that the Lions Bay guys have got around their box is really incredible, and yeah, you can see it here in the comments, shouting out the athletes that are down here in Camps Bay this weekend.
And don't forget, if you are not subscribed and you are watching the stream, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It does help us a lot in terms of algorithm, and it gives us the opportunity to bring you better content as well as better cameras. We have been able to even upgrade. We have got those receivers thanks to you guys, so that means less cables. We get clearer shots for you on the floor, as you can see now. We have our roaming camera there, so that's the sort of stuff that helps us out a lot by you guys liking and subscribing. So make sure you keep that coming in, and we do appreciate all the support from our CrossFit community here at ItsHappening.Africa. And we see a lot of the athletes now, they're heading out on that run. And you see a lot of the athletes, they're shaking out those arms. Remember, those wall balls is quite shoulder intensive. So what you're looking for on that is to try and get the blood back into those arms. So you'll see a lot of athletes, they're choosing to keep their hands up. And look, it's a personal choice. It's not a have to, but my personal choice on that wall ball is to do the butterfly, bring the blood back into the arms, catch the ball, and then throw again. But you see a lot of the athletes, they keep their hands above their head the whole time. And remember, that heart rate's now working a little bit harder because now it's trying to pump blood into those extremities, and we don't want that. That's my personal opinion. What are your thoughts on that? What would you do there as a newbie CrossFitter? I mean, how long have you been CrossFitting for now, Steve?
I'm 6 months into my CrossFit journey, so if you're asking for technique on the movements, you're speaking to the wrong oak here. But absolutely, Jay. Again, a 20-minute workout with one movement, it's really testing the endurance of these athletes. So you've got to find every way to give your body that chance to recover. And I like what you're saying here about the butterfly movement, getting the blood down into the arms. Even on the run, if you've got your arms tucked in by your chest, you're also not letting the blood get into the forearms there, and that forearm pump can be a factor here in the wall ball workout. So even shaking out those arms on your 400-meter run, that's a way to get the blood in and help the body just manage the load over this 20-minute workout. It really is a brutal first event here at Fitchella 2023.
Look, when you look at reps that are like any workout, if we just look at reps, we don't look at movements. As soon as you start hitting that 300 mark for rep ranges, then you know that's quite an extreme workout. These athletes, I mean, they're going above that. They're hitting 400, 500.
585, I think you said is the biggest number. So
we might even see
200 reps for each athlete.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
So it's quite a brutal event here, first one in. But it's going to be exciting to see what this toll has on the body for the rest of the day. Remember, it is extremely hot out here. These athletes need to make sure that they stay hydrated, because as soon as you're dehydrated, that's tickets. Your body will perform, I might be wrong on this, you can correct me, Steve, but I think it's 60%. If you're dehydrated, you can lose 60% of your performance. So quite a tough one if you get dehydrated in this event.
Absolutely. On the other side of that, I know he's maybe not the most popular sports scientist out there anymore, with a few controversial opinions, but certainly the research Tim Noakes did into overhydration,
yes,
and his focus was really around the Comrades Marathon, but taking on too much liquid during the day can also have a very detrimental effect on performance. So it's great to have the guys high protein here at Fitchella helping the athletes manage that nutrition, but hydration is going to be a factor today, and it's important that they don't underhydrate as well as overhydrate as the day goes on. The sun's out here in Camps Bay this December. It's a fabulous morning down in Cape Town, and it is going to test the athletes, and the top performers will need to make sure they manage that hydration throughout the morning.
100%. And I'm just looking at a couple of these athletes here. You can see that sweat just absolutely dripping off these athletes. It is exceptionally hot out there, and there's not much of a breeze at the moment. But in terms of Tim Noakes, yes, very controversial character in terms of the nutrition scene, but that man did extensive studies on running in particular and hydration. And we do have to, you don't have to respect him as a person, but you have to respect the studies that he did, because it did help a lot of athletes in the Comrades Marathon. A lot of athletes they will actually say that Tim Noakes got me over the finish line because he helped in terms of my running nutrition side of things and hydration.
100%, Jay, and I can speak to a bit of personal experience on that. My first comrades in 2016, I got my nutrition horribly wrong, got to the end, ready to vomit everywhere, couldn't walk, couldn't eat that night. It was actually a bit of a disaster, swore I'd never do it again. But when I went back for my up run, I managed my nutrition a whole lot better, looking to take on water every half hour rather than every 2Ks, which is where the water stops are on the comrades, and making sure then I was eating on the hour. And that made such a difference to my performance, and that would be my recommendation to the athletes here today, just to manage that nutrition, making sure that they get good eats in today as they pace themselves between the 3 events today, as well as a decent uptake of water after their event, just to help rehydrate the body after the workouts. And that's the end of heat number 3 here. Heat number 4 of the event 1.
All right, they got one more heat left. Don't go anywhere. We'll be with you shortly. Go to the fridge, grab yourself a beer, grab yourself some popcorn. We've got one more heat here, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Let's make this changeover nice and smooth, nice and sharp.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Hit the ground, then I go.
Let's get those teams in. All teams in heat number 5. Let's make our way into the arena. Lane 1, the Flex Shores Healers. Lane 2, MCC, still need a third. Do they still need a third? Otherwise it's going to be a long workout with 2 athletes. In lane 3, Kippen and Reel. In lane 4, the MCC, 3 girls, no muscle ups. In lane number 5, muscle mix step. Lane 6, Yan. In lane 7, the CFJ Silverbacks. Lane 8, the Village Idiots. Lane 9, MCC, lastminute.com. Lane 10, Nokia 3310. Are they very old? I feel like they must be very old. Lane 11,
All right, we are back here for heat number 5. We're going to run through these teams here. We got lane number 1. We got Fitchella healers. I love that one. Lane number 2, still need a third. Lane 3, keeping it real. Lane 4, 3 goals and no muscle ups. Lane 5, muscle mixtape. Lane 6, yun. Lane 7, silverbacks. Lane 8, the village idiots. Lane number 9, lastminute.com. Lane 10, Nokia 3310. Lane number 11, Akunuma Squatter. Lane 12, Fit Life, Let's Go. Lane 13, Hot Shots. Lane 14, Hout Bay Hammerheads. Lane 15, Swallmates. Lane 16, Alden's Magic Mats. Lane 17, Give It Gas. Lane 18, Southside Fitness. Lane 19, Deadlift Mouse. Lane 20, Beefy Boys. This is the final heat for this workout if you've just tuned in. It is a 20-minute AMRAP. These guys are going to be doing as many wall balls as they can. However, if they stop with the wall ball, if they drop that wall ball, they will head out on a estimated 500-meter run. And I must say that run at the moment is going to take the toll on all these athletes. The heat has picked up. Yeah, we don't have much of a breeze. And the idea here, the keys to success, make sure you have an athlete at the waiting board at all times. You have an athlete on the rig at all times. And then you have that athlete on the run at all times. Just to keep that rotation going, it is all about teamwork. It's about getting that timing right. And if you fall short on that timing, if you do not have a person on that rig at all times, you can fall back easily 100 reps, as we've seen in the previous heats, behind the rest of the field. So those are your keys to success here in the final heat of event number 1, Balls of Fire at Fitchella. Proudly brought to you by ItsHappening.Africa. We have Vian there in the comments. He says, super event. Huge shout out to Reebok, of course, the official apparel sponsor here. And see everyone there waiting at the moment at those boards, looking to get into the mix here, feeling a little bit anxious. You can imagine how these athletes are feeling just before they need to head out for their wall balls. These athletes are going to look for some seriously big sets. It's not one of those workouts where you can just drop off the pace. You only do like 5 or 3. You want to try and get at least 15 to 20, maybe even 25 reps. Some of these athletes definitely capable of way more than that. But you definitely want to make sure that you keep the wall balls moving. You can see one athlete coming in there, but there was no one on those wall balls, so they'll probably fall behind a little bit on the pacing there. You don't want that at all. You want to keep someone on that rig at all times, making sure that that wall ball is moving. See the judges here, they're making sure that you break that 90. We've had a lot of no reps with athletes not breaking the 90, and that's what they're looking for. Gonna get a couple of the reps now shortly from our lady on the floor. She's making sure that she sneaks up on the judges. Just checking those reps for us and letting us know who are our possible leaders. And look at this technique. It's got a slightly different technique. I spoke to Josh Kernot a couple of events ago. We spoke about having a wider squat when you do wall balls and anything actually. And he actually brought up a fair point where you go into a wider squat, and it actually reduces the amount of strain on the quads. Yes, you're going to be working a few more different muscles with that wider squat. However, your movement, especially for the taller athletes, your movement from the top of the position to the bottom of the movement is a lot shorter if you have a wider stance, almost a sumo stance. So if you watch Josh Kernot, he's the 5th fittest at the moment in Africa. He'll go with a very wide squat, and I've been trying it out. I've been experimenting. I love to experiment with different movements just to see what works and what works with different athletes. So the athletes I train with and that I train, I'll give them something else to do, a different technique, and we see what works best for them. But I've seen so far a lot of my athletes have improved a lot more on the wall balls with a wider stance, and it comes down to I have a lot, like my athletes are fairly tall, so their time on the wall balls has improved a lot. They get more reps out with that wider stance just because that time from the top of the position to the bottom of the position has been reduced a lot more. So very interesting one. That's from Josh Kernot, 5th fittest in Africa, and he's recently just opened up his own gym as well called GritFit, so make sure you go check that out. Follow them on Instagram. That is GritFit on Instagram. And then soon we'll have Ruan Potgieter as well. That is 3rd fittest at the moment in Africa. He's also going to be opening up his own gym, so we look forward to that as well. I saw a couple of stories where they were actually digging the foundations and stuff themselves out there in Johannesburg. So it was really cool to see. It's nice to see our athletes setting up their gyms and the community that they bring along. It's always great to see, and those two are really, really great human beings. I'm sure a lot of you guys can attest to that as well. Going to get some numbers for you in a little bit. We can see Lions Bay here on your screens. Great shots here from our cameraman. Doing great work here. And it looks like lane 19 are on 190 reps at the moment. Lolita says Lekker Driekus, so Driekus is here. I'm assuming that was Driekus there with the cap and the glasses on. Or is this? See one of our older athletes here. And our beefy boys in lane number 20, they are on 196 reps at the moment. That's from our lady on the floor there, just making sure that she keeps us up to date with those numbers. And we've got the Motley crew out there in lane number 19. Have a look here. We got CrossFit Tiger Valley. They're from Pretoria. I think they are only Pretoria side. So we got one Johannesburg side, one Pretoria team here. CrossFit Juggernaut as well. Downtown Fitness, CrossFit False Bay, CrossFit Ekstad. So our beefy boys, I think they are our current leaders. They are on 229 now. And it looks like they found a nice little rhythm here. They always have an athlete there on the board, and they always have an athlete on the rig. And that's what we're looking for, those keys to success, making sure that you walk away with maximum points here. And we make... And it looks like lane number 16. That's Alden's Magic Mats, 246 reps. So Magic Mats, they unofficially your leaders at the moment. That is Alden's Magic Mats from Lions Bay CrossFit. So we saw there one of the athletes dropping the ball, and he looked like he wanted to carry on, but the judge said, no, you got to go on your run. But at the moment, it looks like our leader's still hanging on there at the moment, out there in lane number 20, but not too far behind them. We have Alden's Magic Mats, as well as Fit Life in lane number 12, Fit Life Let's Go, Fit Life Wellington. Those are your top three at the moment, battling it out with these reps. And I must say, that's something we are looking into, is a rep counter at some point. And like I said, that helps a lot in terms of the community that follow us here on YouTube, the likes, as well as the subscribers. If you guys keep that up for us, it gives us better algorithms to deal with, and that helps us in terms of earning a little bit more money, so we can bring you those sort of things. So make sure that you share the stream. Just copy that link or click on the share button, share it on WhatsApp, share it to your friends. Let's try to push those numbers up just a little bit for the community, and then like I said, we can bring you a lot more in production value here for the CrossFit community in South Africa. Of course, we want to support everyone. We want to make sure that we bring you the very, very best coverage that we possibly can. And man, a lot of these athletes starting to take strain there. You can see that athlete before he even picked up his ball, and he's a lot taller as well. So the taller athletes struggling a little bit here with these wall balls. Remember, it's a long way down. I mean, that athlete looks probably, I'd say, about 6'2", 6'3". It's a long way down for him. And he took his sweet time to actually start those wall balls. And that's something you don't want. You just want to keep it ticking over. And as Steve mentioned in the previous heat, you just want to keep that that engine rolling, just keep it moving. Not getting yourself into a position where you start redlining too much and start finding yourself in a difficult situation with not being able to keep that wall ball moving. So Lilita, if you're still watching, Windal, what's Drickus's nickname? Let me know. I'm sure Drickus has got a nickname. He seems like a character that would have a nickname. And it looks like 3:46 is our current leader at the moment. That's our Beefy Boys in lane number 20. They seem to be doing well. There's still plenty of time here. Remember, 5:85. And not too far behind. Can you believe that? That's our Lions Bay guys in lane number 16, Alden's Magic Mats. They're just a couple of reps behind Beefy Boys at the moment. And it looks like our new leaders there are in lane number 16. It's Alden's Magic Mats, as Beefy Boys have fallen off the pace a little bit. I think there might have been a bit of an issue where I talk about having athletes on the rig at all times. Lane number 1 apparently also doing well, just listening to the MC. That is Flexual Healers in lane number 1. Sonia says, go Fit Life, let's go. Jessica says, go Matto. Matt, I do believe, if this is the same Matt, I do believe he's moved to Joburg. And he's competing here for his old box. Five minutes left for these athletes. And last I heard, there was a 380 on the board, so these athletes potentially could get past that 585 mark, and it looks like Alden's Magic Mats are the current leaders here. I'm not too sure about lane 1. We're waiting to get confirmation on lane 1. I've heard the MC talk about lane number 1, so it'll be interesting to see there what we're going to get out of lane number 1. And it looks like we might have another change here. Lane number 7, Silverbacks, CrossFit Juggernaut. They are on 427 or 437. That is lane number 7. Looks like they are your new leaders at the moment. And it's going to go back and forth now, because now we're going to see a lot of these athletes are going to be picking up the pace on the run. We might have some athletes overtaking other athletes on the run, but then it's going to come down to those wall balls. Can they stay on that wall ball without making a mistake? That is going to be the question. You can see it looks like Zandre there on the left-hand side of your screen. He's a great runner. I know he does a lot of zone 2. He's done a couple of some big runs, some 21s. I think he's even done some ultras actually, so we know he's got a big tank on him as well. And it looks like lane number 2 still need a third. They are sitting in third place. That's lane number 2. And there we see it, the fatigue on those the lady on the right hand side as she runs out for a run, and she's not looking too happy. And see that little interesting, he's favoring that right side with those wall balls. You want to try keep it in the middle. You want to keep that middle line with a wall ball, and you can see he's slightly on the right side there. Just caught that one. If you drop that and the wall stopped, and the judge is telling him he needs to get going. So remember, you got to keep that wall ball moving. He's not very happy about that. And one of the athletes there, as you just saw on your screen there, he caught the ball, but the ball wasn't deemed moving. Took a bit too long to get that ball back to his chest and throw it up, and off he goes on his run now. And that's exactly what we were talking about, those small mistakes, because now there was no one there to go back in. As you can see, that section there in the middle there's no one on the rig at the moment for the wall ball, so that team is going to fall drastically behind. And our leaders at the moment is either lane number 1 or lane number 7, and then fighting it out for that second place is lane 16 as well as lane number 2, That is still need a third, as well as Alden's magic mats. However, that could all change in the last couple of minutes. You see all the athletes there behind coming in. Only a few more seconds left. See one of our older athletes, he's coming through. And here it is. And that is time. Make sure that you do not go anywhere. Turn on those bell notifications so you'll know exactly when we go live with the next event. Don't go anywhere. Make sure that you have your snacks. Head on out to the garage if you need to. Go grab some extra snacks, and we'll see you shortly.
So there will be an athlete entrance and exit the entire day, not just for this workout. Right, you walk in the one side, you leave the opposite side. We will be kicking off event number 2 in 15 minutes time. 15 minutes. So, before you lift, it's very important that you and your team meet your judge, the athlete control in the warm-up area 10 minutes before your heat. Okay, please do not come down to the field and float around and then just hang out by the fence when you think time is right. Okay, please athletes, meet your athlete control in the warm-up area 10 minutes before your heat. You'll then be sent down